Hey, this is going to be advanced class Thursday, the 9th of May, called the Make Fun of Advanced Kids class. Or the best podcast, whatever this thing is. A thing where I make fun of kids and we all giggle at home. Let's see, you have day of service tomorrow, so you're not going to see me. We're getting ready to read about poisoning children. For the second time this year, we're going to be poisoning people. Yeah, well, today I don't actually get to poison you, we just get to read about it, so it's not quite as much fun. And then from there, finish chapter 5 over the weekend. We're going to be talking about reunion scene. If you've gotten the reunion scene, yes, I know it's confusing. That's why we're going to talk about it, to try and help you out. And then if you have donations for the B-point thing, you're kind of running out of time, although you could bring it to me tomorrow morning before first period. But if you wait till Monday, that's kind of too late. And for the NWEA, if you beat your old score and you have a screenshot of it, or if you failed at screenshotting things, then you can come see me and we'll see if we can try to help you out. I did sell both Pringles and cookie packs, although people only bought Pringles because haters. Bell work that was due that we're going to do. Your last bell work that you're going to do is about helping me make my class better in some way. So those of you at home, while you're working on this, we're going to give you ideas, and then we're going to read about poisoning people. LaRue, you had an idea about something.
We're going to both talk because they'll yell at me if only I talk.
I'm not going to yell at you.
Okay, yes, you're already yelling at her. Focus.
That's not yelling.
Focus.
So we have the idea of so you know how you have a spray bottle to spray people when you spray Matea?
Yes, that does sound like things that have happened.
So you should get a dunk tank where not a real dunk tank, but you have a seat in the little bucket, a small bucket of water.
And one of those kiddie pools that the chair is in so it doesn't go all on the floor.
Yeah, and then you can just dunk a little bit of water on there.
Like one of those buckets, you know?
And this is a thing you think I can have set up in my classroom?
Yeah, and it has like a rope and you pull it and then it flips over. And then it can kind of wet, you know, because they've been doing something bad. Maybe a good
why don't I just take a cup of water and throw it in their face like it's a bad movie?
Because then I would get all on the floor.
To see it and it's its own little show.
Wait, so whose group project is this I'm making fun of?
No one's. It's just a thing.
No, you said it was a group thing that came together with this idea, so I want to know who all I'm mocking for it.
Me and Madeline.
Okay,
just... It's a good idea.
Check.
It's the same thing. It's a spray bottle.
Emerton.
Okay, so my idea is sort of like the lottery. That short story.
Yeah, I remember.
So, if you ever have free... We're not killing any kids.
Oh.
But,
He shot cereal at me.
But, okay, so, if you could, have, an entire day, and you can have, you can pick a random kid to mock, but this, the class, votes on, what kid you, gets, mock in front of everyone. And,
I think that already happened.
Oh, yeah, bad, awful.
My only problem with that is I don't want it to be some quiet, good kid and ruin their day. Some kid, I try to only harass the kids I feel who can take it.
Or you can, have some, bad kids, and then you can
nominate.
And technically, we do have a lottery like that, and you win the lottery by being that kid that mouths off to me in class, and that's how you win. And then I get to sass you, and it works out well. So, some kids, Rylan hardly ever sasses me, so she hardly ever wins. Other kids sass me and win on a daily basis. So it just sort of depends on how often your winning comes in. DeLong!
So, the same thing as the lottery idea, but not mocking. Instead of auctioning food, people could buy tickets or viewpoints, and you could draw names of the person. So, a bunch of people lose viewpoints. One person gets food.
Interesting. So you could choose to buy a lottery ticket for B points. And if you're the kid that wins, you gain those B points.
No,
you gain.
Win food.
So you're just going to spend money or spend points to just randomly have a chance to get a thing.
Yeah, people do that all the time.
But
That's those Tino's.
All right, that's actually something I might consider. I mean, teaching kids how to gamble, it's a life skill. Cuss!
Okay, so I already told you about this, but every time you enter the classroom, you put music.
A theme song? I've got to think about how to get that. I think I got a Bluetooth speaker recently. It has a good sound to it. I got to figure out what thing, and I can do it where I can just hit the button as I walk in.
On the door, and then you can hit play.
Interesting. Cuss.
And also, on the first day of school, you give your every class time to go to their locker and get it set up because
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not a thing I'm allowed to do. That goes beyond mine. I know. That'd be probably more thing during best, but even then we get yelled at. Some things it's above my pay grade to allow. Owen!
Okay, so I have one good idea and then one not so good idea. So the good idea is So you know how you have like the scissors and stuff over there?
Yes.
And you could also put colored pencils there, but and do something kind of to the effect of what Mrs. Melling does. So if you want to check out colored pencils, you have to write your name, and then if people don't like erase their name and put the colored pencils back, you get to charge them B points.
I do have that. It's over there, and you give me a shoe.
Right, but instead of giving them shoe, you get to take B points from them.
Oh, no, I like the shoe. My whole thing is I just want to make sure you guys remember to give them back to me because I've had kids walk away with my colored pencils. That's the only reason I take shoes is because you can't really walk away without a shoe. You walk in circles.
I do all the time after
And like the less good idea is on the first
Wait, that wasn't the less good idea?
On the first day of school, you like come to school and like something really weird to weird out all the students and to freak them out. But then the second day, you like are normal and they
Came with painted
get
nails.
issues.
Ew.
Like,
That was just cute. That was
Yeah, all right. And my last one, Nate. We got to move on, children.
This is a really
Still
good idea.
Nate.
Okay, so
She's just gonna
you know
say
Mrs.
me.
Randall at the beginning of the year clustered her desks into like groups of 5.
Uh-huh.
You could do that, and you could do more. You could do group projects easier. Plus, you could separate problem students even more than you could here, because nobody's there to pass their conversations.
My only issue with that is, one, I never move desks. They've been this way for 20 years. And two, I don't do group projects. Other than that, yes.
Second one, you could do the 2 wide column rows, so there's more room in between the desks and people don't trip and stuff.
I did that. I used to have my rows. That was the only thing I've ever changed. I put the rows together, and the rows together. But kids didn't seem to like it, so I separated it again. And so I also used to have fewer desks in here, which made things a lot easier. But they keep giving me more and more kids. They keep putting more and more desks. And pretty soon we're going to have like double level desks. Like top level, bottom level. You have like kids' feet just kicking you in the head. But
That's cute.
they just like keep cramming more kids in. I'm like, bring them, I'll teach them all. It's like, I can have so many kids yelling at me at once. Like right now when I go, we're moving on. So,
Brovicast.
I told you, we only have so much time. We have
This is the best idea ever.
Go though.
So
It'll take like 3
neither did
seconds.
she. So now, my goal is next week we have things to talk about. If you hold on to these, next week when we have more time, remind me, and I'm happy to come back to it and have you guys continue to come up with your ideas. I just want to get through stuff before you guys get too far.
142?
The page 142 was, well, we've got to meet these 3 people. And so, who's the short one? Vizzini. He's the Sicilian from Sicily. Oh, before I forget. So,
And Inigo.
Sicily down here, and then you have the Turk, who's from Turkey, which is here.
Ooh,
And
yeah,
then you
I love
have
turkey.
the Spaniard, who's from Spain, which is over here. So those are the 3 countries they're referring to. Although Sicily's not a country, but whatever. I don't teach geography. And then who's this one?
Inigo.
And that's the Spaniard, who apparently people keep killing his father. And then this is.
Pheasant.
And that is a guy who's from Turkey and is all big and strong and likes to fight people and stuff like that.
No, he
And they're
doesn't.
the ones who
He
go.
doesn't like it.
In the beginning, he
He's.
did.
I don't like making fun of kids, but I'm
Yes, you do.
skilled at it.
No,
So
you
when you have a skill,
You enjoy it.
it. Let's be honest.
I try. I do enjoy it. I mean, when you're really good at a thing, you just go ahead and do it. And then who is this?
What?
Man in Black.
Man in Black. And so this is where we finally get a chance to get introduced to the Man in Black, and he's the one that's coming after them and trying to kidnap Princess Buttercup from them, who's already trying to kidnap Princess Buttercup from someone who's already been kidnapped. That's the conversation we're going to get to. Dear, yelling at me doesn't change it. Yes.
I'm gonna be really picky here, but this annoys me so much.
A
They
book?
say
I
that
know.
he's always wearing black, but then on the book he's wearing green. I just gotta point
It's
that
the
out.
green light.
Yeah, he's wearing black. That's just the lighting. It's
But it look okay.
Or he's
But
wearing-
that's
the scene I wanted to get to was that first one where they have the duel between the 2 of them,
That's a good
between
one.
the Inigo and then you have the Man in Black. and
Isn't
then
it nighttime?
It is. Well, there's
not in the movie.
dusky time. And so I just used the clips from the movie because that's one of the scenes that's the same between the
It's
2.
like the moonlight.
And then you find out the fact that he's not left-handed, and then you find out the other one's not left-handed, and Inigo's a grand wizard. And then you get to the fighting between him and the Turk, and then that's when he goes,
Choky stuff.
hey, kill him your way. And he's like, what is my way? Was like jumping at.
Choky.
Is that his way?
Force.
Pick up the rock and
rocks.
Yeah, he was like, you pick up a rock and you throw it in. He's like, my way doesn't feel very sportsmanlike. He was like, whatever, you're
So
big
he
and dumb."
decides to choky.
As you do. So then he decides to
Yes,
have
me
the fighting, and he's like, well, I don't feel I'm fairly well matched with you. And he goes, well, so be it. And then we get to page 172, because this is the Iocane powder scene, which can be a little bit confusing, so I'm going to read that to you, and then we'll get a chance to discuss. So page 172, now we get to page, Iocane powder, and I can help explain that.
Why is it in an E? Like, man,
This book needs
instantly, tasteless.
Oh,
I don't
because
like
it's supposed to look like Old Englishy.
that.
It's someone's much like with Kemper not liking the art on the front. That is someone's
only in-
random art that they did.
It's bad.
I'll have it to make it disappear. That's great. All right. So now we get to the Vizzini, who is the last one to have to confront the Man in Black, and then we have the reunion scene coming up. But that'll be coming up on Monday, since we won't get a chance to see each other tomorrow. Bottom of page 172, we get to Iocane powder. We can explain that. Vizzini was waiting for him being Man in Black. Indeed, he'd set out a little picnic spread, and I have the picture of picnic spread. Looks something like that. It's amazing. You can Google picnic spread, and that actually came up. I was all excited. From the knapsack that he always carried, he had taken a small handkerchief, and on it he placed 2 wine goblets. In the center was a small leather wine holder, and beside it, some cheese and some apples. The spot could not have been lovelier. A high point of the mountain path with a splendid view all the way back to Florin Channel. Buttercup lay helpless beside the picnic, gagged and tied and blindfolded. Vizzini held his long knife against her white throat. "Welcome!" Vizzini called when the Man in Black was almost upon them. The Man in Black stopped, surveyed the situation. "You've beaten my Turk," Vizzini said. I feel like I'm nailing this voice too. Don't feel so judgy. Thank you. It would seem so. "And now it is down to you, and it is down to me." "So that would seem too," the Man in Black said, edging just a half step closer to the hunchback's long knife. With a smile, the hunchback pushed the knife harder against Buttercup's throat. It was about to bring blood. "If you wish her dead, by all means keep moving," Vizzini said. The Man in Black froze. "Better." So no sound now beneath the moonlight. "Oh my goodness, you're right. It was at nighttime. Oh my God, you should write them a letter." I understand. You confused
Hold
my
on,
voice.
I'm confused. So if he's the one who abridged the original one, and they also made the movie, then why are they different?
Because it's hard to film in the middle of the night, so he changed that so filming could work.
That's why you use strobe light.
I don't know. Write him a letter. Wait, he's dead.
No, or you could do the flashlight.
Or there could have been
You know where they
a
put the
storm in the
flashlight
middle of the
on
night.
their
They could
head
have done a
and
strobe light thing.
Right, that would work perfectly, except for the fact they didn't have flashlights.
Oil lamp.
Fire.
Or
Right.
you could just wrap each other in glow sticks.
I understand completely that you are trying to do, the Sicilian said finally, and I want it quite clear that I resent your behavior.
Ew.
You are trying to kidnap what I have rightfully stolen, and I think it quite ungentlemanly. Let me explain, the Man in Black began, starting to edge forward. "You're killing her!" the Sicilian screamed, shoving harder with the knife. A drop of blood appeared now at Buttercup's throat, red against white. The Man in Black retreated. "Let me explain," he said again, but from a distance. Again, the hunchback interrupted. "There is nothing you can tell me I do not already know. I have not had the schooling equal to some, but for knowledge outside of books, there is no one in the world close to me. People say I read minds, but that is not, in all honesty, true. I merely predict the truth using logic and wisdom, and I say you are a kidnapper. Admit it." "I will admit that as a ransom item, she has value, nothing more." By the way, those of you who have read further and know other bits, this takes on a whole different meaning in this conversation. "I've been instructed to do certain things to her. It is very important that I follow my instructions. If I do this properly, I will be in demand for life, and my instructions do not include ransom. They include death. So your explanations are meaningless. We cannot do business together. You wish to keep her alive for ransom, whereas it is terribly important to me that she stop breathing in the very near future. Has it occurred to you that I have gone to great effort and expense, as well as personal sacrifice, to reach this point?" The Man in Black replied. "And that if I fail now, I might get very angry. And if she stops breathing in the very near future, it is entirely possible that you will catch the same fatal illness." That illness being
Death.
Yeah.
Be
I have no
nice
doubt
throat
you could
thing.
kill me. Any man who can get by Inigo and Fezzik would have no trouble disposing of me. However, has it occurred to you that if you did that, then neither of us would get what we want? You having lost your ransom item, me, my life. We're at an impasse then. I fear so. I cannot compete with you physically, and you are no match for my brains. You are that smart. There are no words to contain all my wisdom. I am so cunning, crafty, and clever, so filled with deceit, guile, and chicanery, such a knave, so shrewd, cagey, as well as calculating, as diabolical as I am vulpine, as tricky as I am untrustworthy. Well, I told you there were not words invented yet to explain how great my brain is. But let me put it this way. The world is several million years old, and several billion people have at one time or other trod upon it. But I, Vizzini the Sicilian, am speaking with pure candor and modesty, the slickest, sleekest, slyest, wiliest fellow who has yet come down the pike. In that case, I challenge you to a battle of wits. Vizzini had to smile. For the princess? You read my mind. It just seems that way. I told you. It's merely logic and wisdom. To the death? Correct. Again. I accept. Begin the battle. Pour the wine, said the man in black. Vizzini filled the 2 goblets with deep red liquid. The man in black pulled from his dark clothing a small packet, handed it to the hunchback. Open it and inhale, but be careful not to touch. Vizzini took the packet, followed instructions. I smell nothing. The man in black took the packet back. What you do not smell is called Iocane powder. It is odorless, tasteless, and dissolves immediately in any kind of liquid. It also happens to be the deadliest poison known to man. Vizzini was beginning to get excited. I don't suppose you'd hand me the goblets, said the man in black. Vizzini shook his head. Take them yourself. My long knife does not leave her throat. The man in black reached down for the goblets. He took them, turned away. Vizzini cackled aloud in anticipation. The man in black busied himself a long moment. Then he turned again with a goblet in each hand. Very carefully, he put the goblet in his right hand in front of Vizzini, and put the goblet in his left hand across the kerchief from the hunchback. He sat down in front of the left-hand goblet and dropped the empty Iocane packet by the cheese. Your guess, where is the poison? Guess! I don't guess, I think, I ponder, I deduce, then I decide, but I never guess. The battle of wits has begun. It ends when you decide and we drink the wine and find out who is right and who is dead. We both drink, need I add, and swallow, naturally, at precisely the same time. It's all so simple, said the hunchback. All I have to do is deduce from what I know of you the way your mind works. Are you the kind of man who would put the poison into his own glass or into the glass of his enemy? You're stalling. I'm relishing is what I'm doing. No one has challenged my mind in years, and I love it. And by the way, may I smell both goblets? Be my guest. Just be sure to put them down the same way you found them. The Sicilian sniffed his own glass. Then he reached across the kerchief for the goblet of the man in black and sniffed that. As you said, odorless. As I also said, you're stalling. The Sicilian smiled, stared at the wine goblets. Now a great fool would place the poison in his own goblet, because he would know that only another great fool would reach first for what he was given. I am clearly not a great fool, so I will clearly not reach for your wine. No, so that is your final choice. No! Because you knew I was not a great fool, so you would know that I would never fall for such a trick. You would count on it, so I will clearly not reach for mine either. Keep going. I intend to. We've now decided the poison cup is most likely in front of you, but the poison is a powder made from Iocane, and Iocane comes from Australia. And Australia, as everyone knows, is peopled with criminals, and criminals are used to having people not trust them, as I don't trust you, which means I can clearly not choose the wine in front of you. The man in black was starting to get nervous, and there we have to stop. I know. Monday, we are going to go, because the reunion scene's coming up, we're going to read that. I'll try to finish this so we can talk about what happens there in that scene. Next week, we should have a much more normal schedule, and we get to do a lot more talking about things coming up. The final test will be next Friday. If you don't want to take it next Friday, you may push it to the following week. And that is fine with me, because you can get more time. There is no penalty. The only real penalty is you're going to miss my first story, because that following week I start telling my first end of the year stories. But if you would rather take the test on that next day and have the weekend and have more time, that is fine with me. But I'm done with y'all.